Time. We all live by it. It rules our lives. In one moment, we are too early for something, in the next, we're too late. We often dwell in our memories or live in our future, which still didn't happen. We're often too late for work or too early for a meeting. But what if all of this is just an illusion? What if time is just a construction of the brain in order for it to adapt to the world? Does that mean that we live just in a single line where we can move only forwards or backwards? Or maybe everything that has happened, everything that is still to happen, every possible path that we've taken, every possible path that we will take or might take, all of this is happening right here and right now. To be honest, this topic is really vast. Actually, it's so vast that it will take our lifetime to understand it. That's why it's difficult to know where to begin, where to end, and how to start. But just like the time, we will jump on it like we're jumping on a moving train. That's why, first, just look around you. You're maybe sitting in a room full of furniture, chairs, tables, TVs, or maybe you are outside enjoying your day-to-day life, walking in a park, listening to the song of the birds. But all of this is happening only in your brain. You receive information through your senses, and this information is sent to the brain, which processes it, and based on that, you make your decisions. Something you like, something you don't like, it's all happening inside your head. Our physical brain is not capable of processing and interpreting so much information at once. Just imagine a computer. Depending on its power, it can manage a lot of information. But what happens if we increase this information? We give it more, then suddenly this computer freezes and we have to restart it. Well, the brain works in a similar way. That's why it needs some mechanism called time in order for it to integrate you in this thing called reality. It makes you feel and be safe in it. And if we stop for a moment and just start observing our thoughts, we will realize that we spend 99% of our time in one of two situations. Either we are drifting through memories, or we live in a possible future which hasn't happened yet. Nobody knows what will happen in the future, but still, the brain constantly tries to predict it based on past experiences. So maybe the thinking process always moves in a line, forward or backward. In truth, the only thing that we will have is the present moment. Yes, right here, right now, is the only thing that is given to us. The only time-space that we need and the only time-space that exists. Everything outside of it is just a trick of the mind, nothing more. Now, try to think about the present again. Look around yourself. Just focus on what you're seeing, you're hearing, and everything that you're sensing. The colors are brighter, right? The bird song is louder and more beautiful. Like when you are in this present moment, right here, right now, the life just seems more meaningful. Everything you did in the past, good or bad, every path you took, and every person you met, it doesn't matter right here, right now, in this very moment. Everything that will happen in the future, it doesn't matter either. Why? because it still didn't happen and nobody can predict it. Try to remember a sad memory in your life. Everybody has sad memories. So if you try to remember it, then instantly you start reliving it. It doesn't matter if it happened 5 minutes ago, 5 years ago, or even 5 decades ago. Your body starts to feel the same way it felt in that moment when it happened. Because the body lives in this very moment, it can't make the difference between something that you are living through right now or something that you're just remembering from 10 years ago. Similarly, if you have an important meeting tomorrow, or an exam, let's say, for example, or just some kind of a situation that makes you feel nervous, even though you're thinking about tomorrow, your body will start to prepare you for it right now. Like, you will start to sweat, your pulse will go up, a lot of stress hormones will be produced in your body, and you will start feeling nervous. It is just a process in which at first place come the thoughts, then the reaction of those thoughts, and after that is the feeling of that reaction. The brain sends a danger signal to the body, and the body obeys and starts to prepare for it. The body feels the thought that you had. It can't make a difference if it happened 5 years ago or it will happen in 5 years. It starts doing it right now. It's like you drive your car, but the whole time you keep pressing the brakes, just because at some point in the future you will have to stop, but you are pressing the brakes just to prepare yourself for this stop. The same thing happens with the brain and the thoughts. If we want to understand how the time doesn't travel at the same speed for everyone and how it can change, we can just turn ourselves to Albert Einstein. He explained that if an object moves to an extremely high velocity, the time passes slower for it. And this led to the so-called twin paradox. Let's imagine two brothers, twins. One of them stays on Earth, while the other travels on a spaceship, and the speed of this spaceship, let's say it's near to the speed of light. When 1 year passes for the space traveler, when he comes back to Earth, he will be nearly 10 years younger than his brother. That is, because of the high speed he was traveling to, the time passes really slow for him, or at least slower in comparison to his brother. For some time this was just a theory, just a thought experiment. But later, in the 1970s, an experiment took place, a practical experiment. In the early 1970s, it was proven with an experiment that this theory of Einstein was right. It was proven that time passes at different speeds for different objects. In this experiment, two atomic clocks were synchronized with each other to the milliseconds. And as with the twins, once more one stayed on Earth and the other one was placed on a satellite traveling at a fast speed around the Earth. When the second clock was brought back on our planet, it was observed that its time was behind the first one who stayed here. Of course, the difference was minimal, but still undeniable. It was then proved that the time passed more slowly for the second clock who orbited around our planet. And since the science has shown us that time is not something constant, can we really claim that we know what it truly is? Can it be that past and future just don't exist? Many of you might still say that's impossible. The past defines us who we are, based on our decisions, our thoughts, our experiences, and the future is just a goal, maybe something we want to become. That's why it sets the point. But think for a moment. recall a beautiful memory. Just relive it. Think of the decision that brought you to this moment. When you took those decisions, you took it in the time right here, right now, in this present moment, just like in the present moment you're living right now. Every day and in every moment we can change and we can take decisions which change our lives. And that is really the beauty and the magic of this moment, of this present moment. Just think, in this time right here, right now, you can make a decision that will change your life. It won't happen yesterday and it won't happen tomorrow. It has to happen now. In every moment you are able to change your life and to do whatever you want. That's why what happened yesterday doesn't matter and we can't know the future. Just take a moment, appreciate all you have, all you are, make a decision and change your life for better. Thanks for watching.